What is going on, everybody? Welcome to RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, I got Mr. Mamba. Mamba, how we doing today?
Doing pretty great, but you just said let's get ready to rumble, right? You ever seen the movie Ready to Rumble?
Yep, of course.
Bro, best movie when we were younger. Eat my turkey sandwiches with Doritos on it, pop Ready to Rumble in.
Oh, man, that's funny. You get it. We're here. It's Friday. That means it is time to talk some wrestling. Whole lot of news coming out of WWE, AEW. Pro Wrestling Insider gave us the top 500. We're going to glance and groove through some of the names on the list. Clearly, there's some that you don't like.
I understand why some people are on there for the time period that they do this. I just know next year there will be a name that will not be anywhere near this. And there's someone that will be.
All that and more, because we are talking wrestling. And what a better way to start this off by talking about the top 10 of the Pro Wrestling Insider top 500. But just before we hop into that, we're going to give some shout outs to some of the names just on the outside.
I didn't look at all the names, but
we have Mr. Jon Moxley coming in at number 12, one of the bigger controversial ones that came out.
He wasn't really there for the time I believe this is being based on, so I get it. But we know Jon Moxley. We know. Not even real. Everyone knows Jon Moxley, top 5.
Absolutely. A man that has done good for himself over the last few years, racking up world championships from all promotions all over the world. Matt Cardona comes in just under him at number 13. Very nice for him. The Impact
leaves
World
WWE and look at him.
Josh Alexander comes in at number 14. Very nice. Very nice. A little bit down the list. Actually, in rapid succession after that, I believe it is MJF, Seth Rollins, and there's another guy somewhere in there.
MJF over Rollins?
That's what they said. That's what they said. In at number 19, we had Kenny Omega, obviously a lot like Jon Moxley, injuries and such, pulling him, away from here and there. Drew McIntyre ranks in at number 20. Jericho at 22, and the Catalyst, Jay White, comes ranking it at number 23. Just outside, and the correction, it is in order: Moxley, Cardona, Josh Alexander, Tanahashi at 15, if I remember correctly. MJF at 16. 17, we have Seth freaking Rollins. 18 goes Adam Cole, baby, followed by Kenny Omega.
There's some great names right there, bro.
Drew McIntyre, and then just a few names just after that. You got Jericho and Jay White. Whole lot of talent in the top 25, and that's not even.
And there's probably there's more people that we're probably not even thinking about. That someone's this dude or that dude or this person,
Time period. It's a time period. It's a time period, and the way it is ranked and such, it is influence.
I didn't really look at the list, but I wonder where Orange Cassidy is.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Well,
let's have to see. I should have looked at
Closing out the bottom half of our top 10. At number 6, we have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who does a jump from AEW to WWE, leaves off facing Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship,
which they had a moment January. That will forever be, AEW.
Of course. And then he immediately jumps ship, moves on over to night 1, WrestleMania, Saturday night versus Seth freaking Rollins and the guy who's mentioned on this list.
Three great matches.
Not bad at all. At number 7, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, comes on in, who we will talk about in a little bit further on. Nice placement for him, coming up into the top 7. Obviously leaving WWE, coming up, showing up facing Kenny Omega in his debut match. And yes, exactly. Beautiful story from him, all the way from AAA and CMLL, El Hijo del Vaquero.
I don't know this guy.
Son of the Viking, Mexican professional wrestler. In the top 8, absolutely go check him out. He is literally the Mexican Viking. If the Viking Raiders got with this guy, It would be some
Nah,
shit.
that's
But
lit. Vikings are cool.
he is super athletic, super high flying. Does all kinds of flippy dippy do that shit that is absolutely amazing. Go watch his Triple Mania tag match with Ray Phoenix. Absolute banger. I forget.
Of course.
It's versus Andrade and Bandito, if I remember correctly.
Nah, yeah,
Banger of a match.
I like those three. Yep.
Banger of a match. Must watch. And at number 9, been away from the scene for a little bit, but we have Big E, who was the WWE champion for quite some time, following his cash in. Hopefully he
got done dirty. Done dirty, but top 10. That's nice.
At number 10, the Foundation, the Octopus, former ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham. Where will he go next? I don't know.
Who knows?
But top 10 nonetheless, which is something he was talking about. He was like, hey, I'm one of the best wrestlers in the motherfucking world, Tony Khan. You gotta fucking pay me some goddamn money. But nonetheless,
PWI agrees.
They absolutely
agree.
How are we feeling? 6 through 10, Cody, Danielson, Big E, Gresham. We got some names. I know you haven't seen Son of the Viking. Go check them out, and we'll talk about that later.
The name alone,
probably gonna like it.
Yeah, the name alone's great for that guy. All great names.
Yeah,
been champions before. I wish Big E's run didn't end the way it did. Like. Out of all these, I'm glad Big E was top 10 because everyone loves Big E and, still continued to get well. Hopefully he can come back. Hopefully. If not, he can be a manager. He can talk.
He can.
Be like,
he can stick with the New Day. He can stick with the New Day. We have to see how it goes. Nonetheless, moving into our top 5, coming in at number 5, former WWE champion and current United States champion in WWE, the almighty Bobby Lashley comes back after winning the championship at the Royal Rumble, losing it at Elimination Chamber due to injury, runs his program with Omos, and recently just putting on bangers. Matches against Austin Theory, a banger of a match on back-to-back Monday night bangers with AJ Styles and Tommaso Ciampa, of course. And then, as we will talk about in a little bit on Monday, Seth freaking Rollins steps into the circle, the squared circle against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's had a hell of a run. Wrestled a hell of a lot of people during this time span. Obviously, had the fatal 5-way at day 1. Beats Brock Lesnar. Some controversy, didn't win clean. But it happens.
Still beat him.
Bobby Lashley, another WWE guy, just sliding himself right into the top 5.
I mean, the run he's been on since he's come back from his concussion, I believe it was, right? With the Elimination Chamber. Shoulder.
I believe it was a shoulder at Royal Rumble, and then they did the concussion thing for Saudi.
Everything prior to MVP and Leo Rush, there was a lot of Bobby, this is weird. Why are you doing this? The stuff like
her business was money.
Yeah, and then he got more of a mouthpiece with Leo, so it started getting better. But since he's been alone, since he's come back at me, dude's been killing it, and I cannot wait to see Bobby Lashley versus Gunther at Survivor Series, because that's going to be amazing.
It is going to be some hard-hitting action. Cannot wait to see. And at number 4, we got a whole lot of cowboy shit going on, because my absolute favorite AEW wrestler...
My sister would agree with you.
The Hangman Adam Page ranks in at number 4, former AEW World Champion, had an absolute doozy of a fatal 4-way with with Adam Cole, Okada, and Jay White at Forbidden Door, and he's been doing nothing but putting this promotion, doing everything he could. One of the main sticking points on why he was a part of this list is obviously his triumphant victory at Full Gear over Kenny Omega, and then a sad loss at Double or Nothing to CM Punk. But nonetheless, has been a part of some of the most historic world title matches.
People love him.
He is B shit. How are you feeling? AEW representation. Cowboy shit, man.
Talk about AEW representation.
We're gonna get there.
Page, he deserves it. Everybody loves him. So of course he's gonna be one of the up there, top wrestlers in the world. That's all I really have to say. He's cool. You love him. He's just cool. I like his character. I like what he does, but like, he's cool.
He needed to be booked better for his world title run.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, and at number 3, controversially enough for you, because you're not a, you're a little.
I mean, he's cool.
You're a little
I'm
definitely,
I'm definitely have soured a little.
We have the man that is trying to single-handedly destroy AEW from
we don't know
inside.
what he's trying to do.
CM Punk slots it at number 3. Absolutely outstanding feuds. MJF, Hangman, the dog collar match. Some great moments.
Fought Kingston, right?
Yes, he wrestled Kingston at Full Gear, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. This man is here. He's had some great matches. He is
biggest
great
draw.
In the ring.
One of the biggest draws in AEW, if not the biggest.
He is great. I will give him his respect because he is one of the greatest to do it.
Yep.
It's just, damn, why'd you have to end Adams, run, and then that whole shit with Moxley, bro?
A lot of shit going on. Then you get double injured, and now
that aside, he's talk about popularity, definitely top 3.
Is this who you meant by won't be on the list?
He'll probably be. If he continues to wrestle, he'll be top 20. We gotta see because
he's already. What are we in? The time frame? We're already 3 months in.
He'll be back around Mania time.
He's already wrestled 2 matches, the 2 Moxley matches since coming back, and then he'll only be wrestling for like 2. So he'll only have like maybe 10 matches. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The credentials is a minimum of 10 or 6 pay-per-view level events or something like that. I forget what it is, but the lowest you can wrestle is 10 matches. We shall see. In at number 2, the highest rated out of New Japan, a former number 1 wrestler in the world.
How many times?
I do not know.
Probably a lot.
5-star and over factory machine. We have the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Okada, coming in at number 2. Respectable. He is bound to be in the top 5 any year that this has been going on for the last 6 or 7 years now. He is a shoo-in to be in the top 5, easily top 3.
Until he's done.
And formerly number 1. He is literally one of the best wrestlers in the world. He might go down as one of the best wrestlers of all time. Obviously, when you start talking about wrestling in general, because everyone sticks it to WWE and just American, but when you look at the broad aspect of all things wrestling, Okada is going to be one of the best to have ever done it, arguably the best to ever do it in New Japan.
He's all there, definitely. He can make a case.
He is literally just one of the best wrestlers going right now. Yet again, ranks into the top 3 this year, sliding in at number 2. There's just not much else to say. Go look up the G1 Climax this year.
Just look up type in Okada and then click a video with Okada in it.
Pretty much. And by now, if you haven't heard about the classics that he's been putting on with Kenny Omega, you are just an absolute fucking casual, and I don't know how else to explain it.
Okada's been going strong for
absolute goat.
Yes.
And now that brings us to the number 1 spot. The longest reigning Universal Champion has not been pinned in almost 2 years now.
It was like 1,000 days. So that's pushing 30.
Oh my God, are we way over that? Wow. Okay.
I'm
the
pretty
tribal
sure I saw
chief of WWE, Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Nonetheless, he beats Brock Lesnar. He beats Drew McIntyre. He's beating The Fiend. He beat Braun Strowman. He's beating Cesaro. He's beating AJ Styles. He's beating Bryan Danielson. He's beating John Cena. He's beating Edge. He's headlined WrestleMania. He has done it all. There's just what else can be said about Roman Reigns over this period of time that hasn't already been acknowledged? No pun intended.
No, that's simply it. This acknowledge he is easily been the best thing in WWE, the Bloodline storyline, and then I don't know where it ends because that's how good it is. Like the person who beats Roman Reigns, it's supposed to take them to like a next level.
Poor Drew.
Yeah, but he'll get another reign. He will. Drew McIntyre will get another reign. It's just not right now.
Agreed. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. Roman Reigns is number 1 for this year, and we'll see what next year holds. I believe he was somewhere in the top 5 last year, also.
Probably.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he was somewhere in the top 5. If not 2. I don't remember who was number 1 last year. But nonetheless, we're gonna put that behind us now as we look forward to the week ahead. AEW Grand Slam, Dynamite, and Grand Slam Rampage is upon us next week. Tonight, will add more matches to these cards over the next for next week. I sadly already ruined a bunch of match spoilers for myself that are going to be announced tonight because I was looking up stuff, so I will not drop any bombs on you guys right now. If Mamba, you have any questions, I can definitely fill you in after the show.
I'll stay away from the spoilers for now.
There will be a couple of different matches added on, but we'll start with the one that has been announced for Rampage, the attraction match. Action Bronson gets jiggy in the ring as he teams up with Hook to take on Angelo Parker and Matt Menard, as the feud for the FTW Championship has now escalated to a tag match. How are we feeling about this? This one's, sort of for the eyeballs.
Hook and Action are going to body him.
That is
as simple as much. They are going to. It's interesting. Action, he kind of does like everything. He has a chef show, cooking show. He's a rapper, and UFC 4, I believe. Like, just add pro wrestling to it too. Yeah, and I mean, like slight Bam Bam Bigelow to him, kind of the feel you get from him with like the tattoo on his head and stuff. So I'm with it. If these celebrities are any indication, maybe Bronson's a GOAT at wrestling, bro. We'll find out.
We will. Obviously, that's announced for Rampage. Not one of the more hyped up ones, but a guy that we just touched note on. Orange Cassidy knocks Pac the fuck out and officially is challenged for the All-Atlantic Championship. As we know, Best Friends lose to Death Triangle in last week's second inaugural Trios tournament, further advancing their storyline going forward. Orange Cassidy and Pac should absolutely burn the house down next week. And
Pac's probably winning, huh?
Oh, wow. I'm surprised that's the way you're going in because you were like, maybe Orange Cassidy.
I would love Orange Cassidy
you're like,
to
maybe
win.
Orange Cassidy gets at it all.
And maybe he does. Like, maybe he does, and they don't want Pac to be a 2-time, champion. And we don't know Orange Cassidy's schedule. Like, maybe he's about to go do a tour somewhere else, so they put the title on him to do it,
Never know.
Maybe.
We do know All Ego Ethan Page.
Yeah, he wants it as well.
He wants a shot. So we'll have to wait and see.
But Pac he's the bastard for a reason. And he's going to beat the hell out of everyone. And the match will be fantastic. Pac's just too much. As much as I would love to see Orange Cassidy get this win, just to see what he can do with the title.
Yeah.
Pac, yeah.
I hear it. Definitely adding, giving us matches that we want to see. Finally, All Atlantic title is back within AEW being defended, as we've seen it defended against Kip Sabian in 0 Hour a few weeks ago.
So weird. That match was so
weird. It got weird. Hopefully and luckily, this will be a bounce back title defense for the All Atlantic. Yeah. Considering it is back in AEW. We'll have to see if he goes touring or not, whichever these two guys, sort of go off explore. If they do, if not, we know Ethan Page will be ready to go. So that should provide some story going forward. Maybe he just comes out and interferes in this. We'll have to see what the firm is going to do, considering they're just throwing their names into the,
everything
title contentions and whatnot. So definitely something to see there. As we move on, the match that seemed inevitably to be added, Swerve in Our Glory, the AEW Tag Champions, will take on the Acclaimed. And I already said this is going the Acclaimed's way. I don't know how else to put it. They are red hot right now. Absolutely super loved. And the Swerve part of Swerve in Our Glory slightly feels like it's teetering off. The fans don't really give a shit about Swerve at the moment.
He's gotta heal it up. fans don't like you, start
I
being a
guess so.
douche. That's what you do. My only concern is that we would immediately then go into the Acclaim versus the Gun Boys, the Gunmen. Yeah, the Gunmen.
The Gunmen.
I don't know if we should go that route with FTR still waiting to get those titles, right? Like, maybe the Acclaim don't win these titles and then FTR wins them, and maybe the Acclaim get the championships off of FTR.
That would be crazy, but
You
that's going
know,
to
a
take
more
so
established
long.
name, and yeah, it would. It definitely would. And we keep mentioning FTR, like I just brought it up, but they haven't done it. Are they ever gonna do it? I don't know. Like the Acclaim, they definitely have a chance of winning this match because of how over they are. It just wouldn't surprise me if they keep it on Swerve and Our Glory for a little bit longer.
Hey, I hear it. I think it is I think Swerve should get the hint when his music is the second one to be played off. You know? It is your own personal song.
They
It is
should
his
actually
own
start doing
personal
that.
song.
Yeah.
But it always gets overrun by Who Am I?
Yeah.
Which is an absolute banger. I love Keith Lee's.
Maybe that's why they went for that. Like,
oh yeah,
you come out
so
first,
awesome.
people love you, and then once Keith Lee hits, like that's the true love.
And they don't even swerve house when he's in the ring. They do the chant.
Yeah.
They do the chant for Keith Lee, so maybe he'll get the hint. I don't know. I ain't saying the E's calling you, but they definitely are calling you. We'll have to wait and see.
Love
Hit Row we'll talk about in a little bit in their Fatal 4-Way match for number one contender for the Usos tag team titles. We're gonna get to them in just a bit as we move on. The women's championship was crowned in a Fatal 4-Way and will now be defended in a Fatal 4-Way. Toni Storm defends against DMD Britt Baker yet again as their stories continue to intertwine since Toni Storm has joined. Athena jumps from the TBS title into the women's world title picture. And then the Professor, Serena Deeb, one of AEW's best women talent, gets a chance to get in here and lace up the boots against some of these women. I still think she should be ROH Women's Champion. No offense to Mercedes Martinez, but you are also injured. Anyways, how are you feeling about the women's match? They're trying to sort of, yes, that's why she's been off of our screens and been irrelevant. She's injured right now. Also not wrestling any indie shows. But yeah, the women's, they're trying to show some layers, Jamie Hayter and, coming out and, she's still mad. Like they're trying to build something.
I expect her to do something to screw Britt Baker over in this match. So? Yeah, I'm sorry. Well,
is she going to get the lockjaw locked in and she's going to pull the ref out maybe?
Maybe.
As like Athena's tapping or something.
I don't know what she's going to do, but I just because it doesn't seem like there's going to be any reconciliation between those two. Like, if I was Hater, I'd be pissed. Like, I should be champion right now, dude. I could have brought it back to where all three of us are around the title. Like, yeah, I got it, and you don't. But, like, we're friends. So, of course, I'm going to bring you – but, like –
and that is all I asked for was for that piece of their story to advance. Yeah. Britt and Hater advance.
I'm just trying to figure out who eats the pinfall, Athena or Serena. My guess would be Serena because, like, if Athena just keeps eating losses left and right, she's already not, like, over with people in AEW like she was as Ember Moon and then even before Ember Moon when she was first on the indies, It's just there's not really much of a connection. And if she just keeps losing, it's like, all right, they're not doing anything with her.
Yep.
She'll probably just be in there for a couple of her spots. Like her stunner off the rope. Great. Yep. Love that move, dude.
You love the Eclipse.
Yes.
I hear
but Toni Storm, she's pinning Athena or Serena for sure.
Yeah. I don't know who or which one, but I wouldn't mind if she feuds with Serena, just to sort of.
Serena always gets that feud with the champion, huh?
You know what I mean? Keep that title relevant and keep Toni Storm having good matches. I would not mind Serena Deeb coming out of this feud as the number one contender, so to speak, even if she eats the pin. I don't want to see the Britt Baker story. I want to see where Baker and Hater go. And maybe revisit, because Britt and Tony's stories immediately intertwined as soon as she got there. So maybe get to that at some point. I don't want that stuck in my face right away because eventually Thunder Rosa got to come back and they got to do some shit with that. So we got to wait and see. You're looking like, is she coming back? I know there's a lot of shit going on.
There's a lot of shit going on.
She's injured, not injured. There's reports that it was her leg.
I would believe she is injured.
There's reports. Conan had came out. I don't know if you saw that. He said he had talked to her and he was like, she told me it was her knee, and then he asked her like a week later, like, what's going on? She said it was her back, and he corrected her, and she was. There's a lot of iffy shit going on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of iffy shit. There's a lot of iffy shit going on. But nonetheless, the main event and probably the biggest, baddest, most important match. Because no other matches that are going to be announced later is obviously as big as this. We have Jon Moxley, who put his 6-week vacation on break because of the backstage scandal.
Knowing that is so sad.
Madness. Jon Moxley walks in ready to take on his frenemy. Yeah. When they first started all of this, you know what I mean? For also Blackpool Combat Club member Bryan Danielson looks to become AEW World Champion as they crown a new champion, not an interim. This is the new champion. Yes. Definitively.
Vacant no longer.
This is going to be a definitive champion. CM Punk, you're in the fucking mix somewhere when and if you come back. But Danielson. He beats Hangman. Banger. They tie up theirs 1-1-1, and I hope that fourth match happens at some point. If it is set for,
definitely will.
If Danielson wins this and Moxley is set to go on vacation, absolutely give me Hangman versus Danielson for end all be all match at Full Gear, and I'm fine for that. MJF maybe.
He's lurking.
I know he has a title match, but I think we all agree Danielson deserves a run with the championship. If he's in this spot, why not? But again, Moxley's lurking back there. He's having his back and forth with MJF, kind of like, gives me vibes like I'm gonna be the champ when you decide to cash in, and I'm gonna fuck you up. So
pretty much,
I don't know how I feel about this. This is rather it gives me 50.
Would you be upset if it's Hangman and Danielson at what's the next one? Full Gear, right?
Full Gear will be the next pay-per-view because Arthur.
And then after that match is over, he Randy Orton's him like you were saying.
I would not be mad at that, and I would not be mad if it happens at Grand Slam and Arthur Ashe. Like if the ending scene is MJF taking out the 1 and 2 essentially of the Blackpool Combat Club, and we get a further maybe that's the way the firm gets elevated.
Right.
You put in a feud with Blackpool Combat Club. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's going to be the best thing, but Lee Moriarty getting in the ring and Ego getting
with
in the
Yuta,
ring. Morrissey immediately, he's in the fighting Moxley
Claudio,
and Claudio, and he's fighting, he's fighting, the former just champions,
MJF and Regal on the mic.
But it
could be interesting.
There's some dynamic. Stokely obviously is the head of the firm, so Stokely's gonna get in maybe.
Oh yeah, and they had that NXT little connection right there.
You know what I mean? It feels like if that's the angle that they want to go with, I'm not upset about it because I just don't know how much of the rub fans are going to be like, yay.
It can't happen after Danielson is crowned because after Danielson is crowned, and I think that's where we're both leaning. Danielson's winning this match.
Yes.
Moxley deserves that vacation. Go get your mind right. Go do what you have to and take some time off. You were carrying that, company on your back.
Yes. Absolutely.
Blackpool Combat Club's got to be out there, right? Like, Claudio's going to be out there. Yuta's going to come out.
Yuta will shake his
hand.
Granted,
they'll have the numbers.
Well, Mox will shake his hand, obviously, off the start. Yeah. Cesaro will probably come down. Claudio with Yuta will come down. Regal will come up off the announce decks and walk down. Daniel Garcia will probably come in last and sort of show, appreciation as they do their handshake. officially. I believe Daniel Garcia will be the one to put the strap on and go full circle from when Danielson put the strap on him. I think that'll be a good moment. The crowd and the fans in the internet are going to absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And then maybe you do just have, and have that music hit, have MJF walk out and have the Firm sort of behind him. And it's like, this is what's next. You know what I mean?
I'm coming.
That image ending, Blackpool Combat Club in the ring, MJF and the Firm on the ramp on the entryway. It's like,
damn, John Moxley's gonna look like a dick leaving his Firm's about to get jumped by 7 people.
You never know. Hey, that could be the way Moxley's off. He gets beat up by the Firm backstage. That's the way he gets, written off the TV for 6 weeks, and he gets to take his break in peace without people being like, "Where you at? Where's John Moxley?"
Why are you helping?
At this point, we all know he was set to be on vacation, and I even feel like in one of his promos, he even alluded to that he was supposed
he did to be gone. Man sounded hoarse as hell, like, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
I'm on a fucking vacation on a fucking beach with my girl. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? So we definitely have to wait and see. But I would absolutely love the MJF storyline just intertwining, because it doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything at Arthur Ashe. One of the bigger shows. It is weird considering it is coming up after a pay-per-view, so it's a little weird. Really, all together, but they're doing the best with what the fuck has happened. To be honest, doing the best they can. Nonetheless, AEW in the books. We get ready for Rampage tonight. Got some good matches on the card there. Danhausen will be wrestling, which is obviously super excited. Samoa Joe is back on our screens wrestling tonight also. So that should be some entertainment. Matt Hardy, Darby Allin.
I saw Jeff maybe coming back soon.
Adding on, so this should be some interesting shit. Obviously, leading up to next week. And nonetheless, we transition on to the biggest wrestling company in the world. Whether you love it or hate it, it is in fact WWE, and WWE is doing quite a bit. Quite a bit. And what better place to start than with Monday night, as we get it all kicked off with new women's tag team champions. Io Sky and Dakota Kai officially beat Raquel and Aaliyah to claim these championships. The decision that a lot of people thought should have been made originally.
Yep. They couldn't do it yet. That match at Clash of the Castle. They could have, because they ended up winning in the end. But just keep the titles off them for now. And then
it would have been.
We'll give you your moment. Don't worry.
Yeah, it would just been better if they won the titles, walked into Clash with them on, and then Bayley pins Bianca, and it's like, it's gonna make the fans think even more like, oh wow, this trio, this new faction might swoop
Triple H
in
does
and
like Raquel though. Raquel, she was
Raquel
big
versus
in
Bayley
NXT.
tonight. Raquel versus Bayley tonight.
That's gonna
be
be
a good
great.
Match.
Yes,
should be a good match.
And there you go. She's already feuding with Bayley, who is a former women's champion, who everyone was waiting for her to come back. And when she did, it was like, okay, when is she gonna get a title? Because that's how good Bayley is. Why not give the rub to Raquel and Aaliyah, right? Aaliyah hasn't had much. Raquel hasn't had much since coming to the main roster. Make them women's tag champions, and then they lose, but they were the first ones,
to get them back,
just to boost their name a little bit more,
I get it, because Raquel's definitely going to be set for a push probably next year. If we do Survivor Series,
I can see her winning the women's Royal Rumble.
Maybe potentially if we do women's Survivor Series teams, I can absolutely see her being a sole survivor or one of the
the team captain.
A team captain or one of the women, because every year we have, one of these competitors that will rack up, 2, 3, or 4 dominant pins. I think she could be the one, maybe whatever, however it might shape up. Hopefully, if she's in the Survivor Series match, she'll be one of the women that will notch 1 or 2 pins, maybe a third one, maybe get her a solid name under her belt, wherever the cards lie. Maybe pinning a Carmella, former women's champion, will add a little bit to her name. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see where they go with this. Obviously, Naomi and Sasha, everybody keeps talking about. Everybody's sort of waiting for them to come back. We'll see how that further builds up Damage Control as they head into Extreme Rules, looking to dethrone Bianca Belair. So we'll see what Bayley does.
Probably not gonna happen, right? Like
no,
probably not.
The plans for Bianca Belair losing the title at any point in time won't happen until WrestleMania, apparently.
Okay. That's a long run. That's nice.
Year to year, bell to bell. So definitely expect. We'll see how that goes. We'll definitely see how Bianca Belair's the rest of her run goes. Yes. I would believe Rhea Ripley will be put into this run at some point, considering she's supposed to lose so dramatically at Money in the Bank. And the best thing that ever fucking happened to Rhea Ripley was the fact that she got a concussion. I'm glad she didn't have to eat that pin. Anyways, speaking of Rhea Ripley, we shall continue on because we actually are going to talk about the Judgment Day. As the Judgment Day had 2 segments on Monday, obviously coming in and telling Matt Riddle to join the Judgment Day.
Not gonna happen.
Finn Balor goes ahead and they wrestled a pretty nice match. Finn versus
Riddle,
course, a very solid match. Is this what's next for Riddle? Is this where he's going now? Is he done with
probably Finn? Not.
Or was this just a one-off? Like, let's just put a good match in Riddle and Finn.
It just like Judgment Day's way of saying like, yeah, we're still looking for people, but Riddle, it's definitely matches. Yeah, they are. And Dominic being added, it's definitely interesting. Man's very, just stands there. But his match was solid with Edge.
Absolutely.
It was solid.
The main event.
Riddle versus Seth should be another. That should definitely happen at Extreme Rules. Like
probably.
Rollins shout on that man's life in a promo and then beat him. Riddle should not be
keeps beating this man.
Riddle should not be done with Rollins. Like, I took all these L's against him. Yeah, I'll walk my separate way. Yeah. No,
Riddle walking out of Extreme Rules over Seth Rollins feels like
maybe like a bloody. They have a cage match like they did in NXT with Riddle and Thatcher.
Maybe, or just go all in on the Extreme Rules match. I'm all for that. I'm all for just them beating the piss out of each other. That could be
falls count anywhere and they go backstage. Yeah.
Exactly. But as you alluded to, you talked about Dominic versus Edge main evented the show. Edge wins via DQ as a story on Dominic just absolutely hating Edge continues. But it just goes full circle. Obviously, Judgment Day still beefing with Edge, and
yeah.
Edge
I'm part of the group now, so of course I have to hate you.
You know what I mean? And they had already sewn the storyline in on why he doesn't like Edge and stuff like that to sort of just make it instead of being like, I hate you because they hate you type shit. So
they get speared,
They added
cut him in half
to make the story worth it. Make the story worth it. And of course,
how do you feel about Judgment Day now? Like, does it look like
about them until they lost me when when the turn happened? When they added Finn and they dropped Edge. They lost it for me. If Edge was still there, especially because at the time of it being in its inception, Vince was in charge, and then with Edge was gonna keep them up high. And then they wanted more supernatural. They added Finn. They look like a rinky-dink rag of nothing. Rhea was definitely going to lose Money in the Bank. Like Rhea was definitely going to lose Money in the Bank. Finn is just losing on regular Mondays as part of the Judgment Day now. Like, it's just man. And now Triple H is back and he's trying to make us give a fuck about the group. So we'll have to definitely see how it goes. But I'm still just. Don't really give a fuck.
Wait and see. Yeah,
if they had stayed with Edge, I could have seen this group going into Survivor Series in like a 5v5 versus the Bloodline, and maybe we get an Edge and Roman Reigns revisit. Definitely what I was looking forward to. And then it's we want supernatural, we want lightning and fire and ghost and boom. And why the fuck? Like Edge doesn't need that. Like he should have just made it the Brood concept that he wanted to kind of go with. And now we have Brood Edge, so we'll definitely see how it goes. From boo and spooky to just downright creepy, Dexter Lumis continues to haunt The Miz. Obviously, got him from the steel cage match a few nights ago.
Damn.
Fuck off. And then, he's creeping in Miz's house, watching him, Maurice, and their beautiful daughters in
drawing the picture.
Recorded segment. So yeah, this is getting weird.
It's a weirdo.
This is starting getting creepy.
I'm still just waiting for Indy to pop up, bro.
This is still getting creepy.
Yes, and creepy. It'll probably get a little bit weirder too. So
you know what my guess is? They're gonna shoot one of those at home things. They're gonna like deliver a package or something, and the delivery person is gonna be like Indy. No, it's gonna be Indy.
Oh,
it's gonna be Indy, and then the fans in the arena are gonna go crazy because they're gonna put it together. Indy, Index. Like they're gonna put it together, and Miz is just gonna be like, whatever.
In the arena, I mean? Does this happen while Miz is like at the arena? And
this has to be one of home? This has to be one of their film shots at home. Miz is just at home chilling, knock at the door, like boom, it's Indy, and he's kind of he gives her kind of the like.
Yeah,
he's like, whatever, like whatever. But I think that's a good way to get her on the main roster as sort of the accomplice, because Dexter's not in jail, and we thought we were gonna get a jailbreak scene, and they're not happening. So
we still need it, bro.
Maybe that could be a way that she gets incorporated in, like she delivers something to the house. If that's one of the ways they want to go with the house vignettes and skits and stuff like that, or if they have a valet moment where he's Miz isn't comfortable driving himself, as we saw with all that weird shit.
The man's hiding in the back of his SUV.
And, maybe she's the valet. Maybe she's a female valet, or that's somewhere I'm looking at for her to get added in a very interesting way. And to wrap up Monday night, we have obviously Bobby Lashley versus Seth freaking Rollins on Monday, giving us the preview. Rollins comes out and says he's ready to chase a championship. Bobby Lashley's like, hey, you ask me, I'm the champion of Raw right now. So
yes,
come fuck with the Almighty.
Bobby's winning that match. That match is going to be fantastic, but Riddle's going to do something to cost.
Add that
Rollins.
Going forward, absolutely. I'm all for
do we see Bobby versus Riddle potentially after that?
Hey, there's a lot of shit going on.
That could be a good match too.
There's some talk for Crown Jewel right now. Brock coming in and wrapping up his story with Bobby, and then that sort of puts the U.S. title in like a Brock Lesnar wants that bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it is a clean win, Brock does the job for Bobby inside for Crown Jewel, and that's gonna continue going on with the momentum that Bobby's been going with, because like I just mentioned,
is this how we get Brock versus Gunther, bro? Oh my god, Brock versus
Gunther, is U.S. champion going into Survivor Series. If that's the way that they would go, would be fucking insane.
That would be crazy. You think Brock would definitely be like, yeah, I will do this just so I can have a match against this man. I will do it. That would be great. I
don't know. It's the rumor plans. We'll definitely have to wait and see. Bobby's gonna be in for a hell of a ride. He's had a hell of a few months.
Yes.
Obviously, as previously mentioned, AJ Ciampa, 2 bangers with Theory, and now a match with Seth. It should be a good one. Obviously, Steel Cage with the Miz is previously touched on.
Is this how they get Bobby back to Roman's level?
Maybe, kind of slow build them up, boom, 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 possibly. Maybe.
What if Bobby won the Royal Rumble?
Gotta wait and see. He was just top 5. He was just number 5. He definitely has.
That we're sitting here like Bobby Lashley. This man is great right now. When there were so many times where it was like, this is stale, this is boring. Bobby's gonna want to leave again because they're doing horrible things with him. And now
face turn, boy.
I want to see him take a title off of Roman, bro. We saw him before he got the U.S. title, right? He posed with the fan with the WWE title. It would be so great. So great.
Hey, that's why if the Brock story goes into Saudi, they'll be able to sort of clean up and wrap that up. Yeah. So that'll definitely
I got a clean win over Brock. You got somewhat a clean win over Brock. He's definitely had a clean win over Brock. That would be pretty interesting. Now Bobby versus Roman, night 1 WrestleMania.
Hey, you never know. We gotta definitely wait and see. As we move on, Tuesday night, NXT 2.0 1-year anniversary kicks off in a steel cage tag team match. Creeds versus Pretty Deadly.
Yes.
Pretty Deadly retains. Damian Kemp's storyline of hating the fuck out of Diamond Mine continues.
Yes.
Almost murders Roddy, and
why not?
Yeah, cost them yet another
you're a wrestler,
chance
dude.
at the
You can
titles.
murder someone and get away with
I
it.
know, right?
Go for it, is
Fucking
what they're saying.
insane. Fucking wild.
Um, That's
How
a
are you
good
feeling?
match.
Damian Kemp just,
Yeah. I
wrecking
forget.
shop. Fuck
He was just
everything.
like, this one thing happened to me, and I said I hate him. One thing, dude. Like, that man holds a grudge. I'm all for it. I don't know where Pretty Deadly goes, though, right? Like, they got to keep those titles for a little while. And then the Creeds take them back eventually? Or do the Creeds
Presumably,
not even sniff those titles anymore? We've seen what the Creeds can
no, the
do.
Creeds will definitely get those belts at some point.
Okay.
They will definitely get those belts back at some point off of Pretty Deadly. These teams, I can definitely see future call-ups very shortly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with the Creeds, I feel like they could be brought up after all the stuff with Kemp, right? Like,
potentially, I
they
wouldn't mind
love
if
the Creeds. And you just get them in there, and you don't have to put them at the top. You can have them against Lotharios and people like that, like.
I wouldn't be upset if the entirety of Diamond Mine were to get drafted.
Yeah, bring up I can agree.
Ivy, bring up Tatum Paxley, bring up the Creed brothers, and you have a faction that instead of it being a tag team and a singles or basically like a tag teams and a single, or a tag team and a pair of singles, you have two tag teams, a male and a female tag team. Yep. Maybe mix some things up.
Do you still have Roddy be the leader?
No,
like, he wants to get them both the tag titles.
Roddy will separate himself, and Roddy will be on the main roster presumably around Rumble time, because he should come back and beef with Damian Kemp on trying to take him out and give Kemp the rub, let him win, let him go over, and then be on the main roster in no time, and then go and challenge for something, because he'll do something, obviously, unless his wish is to still be let go and go to AEW like he had already requested to be released. We'll have to wait and see, but I can see some shit going on in Diamond Mine's future. It's definitely something to see. We also had a debut. The Super Diva.
Yes.
Quincy Elliott.
Greatness.
Is officially promoted from NXT Level Up and is officially on the NXT brand. How we feel? I know how we feel about Quincy Elliott.
We feel the exact same way about this man. He is a weirdo, and it's fantastic. Like, he does not care what you think about him.
Nope.
He's going to make you uncomfortable if you're uncomfortable with the way he does it. But there's always characters that just, it doesn't matter. Like, what they do, they're going to own it. And I know you hear my dog going crazy, but I saw, like,
Goldust, baby,
Goldust. Goldust mixed with Viscera. And those characters were weirdos. But Goldust was an IC champion. I'm pretty sure he's held tag title. Right. Like, there is success for the weirdos in this business. Will they be world champions? Probably not. But they can still get over and prove that you don't have to be a world champion to, like, make a difference. And, like, Quincy Elliott, he's just his dancing, like, it's
awesome.
Great. It's great.
I like him. I have
dances with the ref, bro. Yeah. No, he is.
I love the gimmick, and it's gonna rub people the wrong way. So, a lot of people the wrong way. We talked about that, but guess what, guys? It's 2022.
Right. Get over it.
But everywhere you go, you are gonna see a man that is maybe not as big as Quincy Elliott, but you are going to see a man like
you're gonna see a super diva, bro.
You're gonna see. You know what I mean? You're gonna see a super diva. Get over it. I can't wait to see where it goes. How legitimate he is. I already told you I love it when he's gets up in there with the girls and shit. It's gonna be awesome. I'm all for it. I'm all for this gimmick. I'm super excited for it. Can't wait to see where it goes. Another story that we can't wait to see where it goes as we continue. Cameron Grimes gets challenged into a 2-on-1 handicap match because he don't need nobody but himself. He's going to the moon. Decides to take on Tony D'Angelo and Lorenzo Stacks. Getting his ass beat and coming down the way to save the day. Good old Gacy.
Yeah. Yo, that name is still, because a serial killer with that. It's still, but he's great. Like, he owns the character. He is trying to brainwash people into his own cause. Like, more characters is needed, and he owns it. With Cameron Grimes, he has to feud with Gacy, right? Or is Gacy just like, I'm going to beat the hell out of you until you submit to me, kind of? Like, I could definitely see Gacy doing that.
I don't know, because I really want him to be called up. But is it weird that I can see Gacy coming out on top of this feud?
No, I could too.
And
I definitely could.
I can see him joining Gacy in a weird, fucked up way. And
hey, I texted you. Gacy gets him to the world title, the NXT title.
Yeah, it joins in some sort of a weird way. There is some reports that Red Hood, that's been walking around and been seen with the dyad, is damn, I forgot her name, from NXT UK, the redhead. I can't think of her fucking name.
It's a female character?
That is the vibe that they're getting
from UK.
Off. I forgot her name.
Kylan? It's not Kylan, is it? Is it? No.
Kylan King is over in
AEW, right?
AEW, yes. Yeah. She had wrestled against Satomura in a dark theme match. I forget what the hell it is.
Yeah, I can't think of who you're talking about.
Isla Dawn.
Oh.
Isla Dawn. Yes. Okay. Yes.
I have heard that name. No idea who she is, but I definitely
red hair, black lipstick, black attire, black nail polish. She sort of would fit. And there's some reports that she will be eventually be an official addition to joining the Schism.
Okay.
As the official female of the group.
Not bad.
So definitely going to be something.
Yeah, weird feud because Cameron's been here for so long.
It's about time. It's about time.
Yeah, ready for that call up.
So maybe this is the way to maybe this is the way to give him a little rub for Mr. Joe Gacy, considering he hasn't come out on top and looking great. But now with the faction, we'll definitely have to wait to see how it is. As before we jump to the main event, because the main event's we'll wrap up into SmackDown tonight, so we'll keep that along. So we're gonna skip the main event for now. We're gonna get to right at the ending, the cutscene. NXT is forever and always, and yada yada yada. We get NXT 2.0, beautiful on our screen. It gets outlined.
Yo, get rid of
it. It's changing. It is now officially NXT. Sort of back to some of the black and gold that we had previously been rumored.
Guys.
I know.
It's a white and gold. Yo.
The name.
Hold on. We got on Twitter and black and gold was trending. I'm like,
because that's the era it feels like it's going back to.
Yes, but I'm like, this is white and gold.
It meets in the middle. Black and gold, and then the popping, colorful white of NXT 2.0 sort of meets in the middle. As there's reports
black and gold's back. I saw one tweet that said, "Guys, this is white and gold." I'm like, "Thank you, guy. Thank you."
As now we have reports that NXT takeovers will be coming back. It will be
Halloween Havoc.
NXT Takeover Halloween Havoc seems to be the slated first takeover event that is set to come back. It'll be on a Saturday.
So good.
Which should
be absolutely amazing. Pay-per-views.
I think everyone somewhere deep down likes the Halloweeny theme, so Halloween Havoc is going to be a outstanding set. We saw fucking Kratos last year with fucking Ciampa, which was wild. So can't wait to see sort of who does what, obviously leading into that. But yeah, NXT 2.0 is back to NXT.
NXT
is back to NXT. We're back to NXT black and white.
Black, white, gold.
What are we thinking? What are we thinking? The new era under D-Generation X, under Shawn Michaels and Triple H. The new era, resurgence era of 2.0.
They're going to be changing on the set too, but probably a mixture of black and gold with 2.0. Like with black and gold, it was mainly wrestling. Like there were characters here and there, but like with 2.0, that was the foundation of 2.0 was all these people and all their weird characters. just a combination of both. And it's probably going to be great. If we're being honest, it's going to be great.
Attitude Era-esque.
Okay.
NXT.
Okay.
Type of vibes.
I'm with
You
it.
got Quincy Elliott being all, doing his thing.
Yep.
We're definitely going to have some other characters. We have, the Italian Mafia going on. We have a security guard getting promoted.
Yes.
We have, Schism and the Dyad in the background lurking as
kind of like
dark underlings.
Yeah.
Wendy Chu is there,
She's great.
There's going to
She's
be
great.
There's going to be some stars, the Carmelo Hayes, the JD McDonoughs, the Tyler Bates, the Braun Breakers. Like, we're still going to have a ton of outstanding studs. Apollo Crews, Grayson Wallers,
Wesley,
Ricochet if he's around, Wesley. We're gonna have really good wrestling.
Is that his name?
Sanga.
I like him. I like.
He's doing his thing, and
very. Don't worry, guys. Like, it's gonna work itself out. Like, y'all, if y'all continue to work, you'll get to that level.
Yeah.
And at some point, his optimism is going to rub someone the wrong way, and that match is gonna be good.
Pretty much. I still feel like he should have another match with Grayson Waller. That one and done match they had was weird. I think it was just a weird ass excuse to just get him on TV. But nonetheless, I feel like they're gonna go Attitude Era-esque. They're gonna have some guys and women's that can absolutely perform, but with the characters and the gimmicks that are being entrusted in, the Alba 5. There's so many. Pretty Deadly, is over like all of these different. Pretty Deadly and Quincy have to link up at some point.
Lash Legend.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's just so many over-the-top characters, and I feel like that's going to stay and continue to grow.
Before we jump to SmackDown, right? You know how we would talk about, like, they need to add more to the backstage element. Show us more. The Country Boys in Fallon.
Yep.
They should have a bar. Like, I feel like they should.
You loved that bar.
I do.
You dig the bar.
With AEW, Adam Page, he had his bar moments, but like, you can do so much with a bar. Like, their gimmick match could become a barroom brawl. Yeah, so like you can have the Tony D'Angelo and
Stacks.
Why can I not remember Legato? His name. Yeah, why can I not remember his name? He's been off our screens, and he's gonna pop up on the when they had their meeting. Like, they could be like, "Oh, let's go to this bar. It's secluded," and then it just turns into everything. I like the idea of more elements to the backstage, and a bar is great. Who doesn't love a bar?
I hear you. They're having a lot of these moments happening like back in catering by the bar, so it is kind of funny that you do say that.
See?
It is kind of funny that you do say that. Can't wait to see what the future of NXT holds. As we previously mentioned, the finale, the main event, the last image of NXT 2.0 is Solo Sikoa. He said he got next. He's coming for the belt, and he's walking away North American champion. Adding more gold to the bloodline as it leaks into Friday night SmackDown tonight. Solo will be on Friday night. Not only that, he will have a match tonight. He will, in fact, be defending his title. Mom, I can tell you more about that later when we get off the screen.
I'm like, I didn't get to see his Drew match. I was pissed.
Oh, right. You guys had
we had a tornado warning.
The tornado warning down there in Florida.
Our weatherman's like, "Hey, yeah, we're good, but I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer." And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to watch people beat the shit out of each other.
Right. Yeah, Solo is set to be on SmackDown tonight. He's set to have a title defense already. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. At least if the reports are said to be true. The Bloodline, more gold. And we talked about it. As soon as he came out to challenge, we were like, he's going to win.
He's taking that time. There was no way he was losing that match.
This is going to add in the Sammy storyline. And I see people saying, give Sammy the 24/7 title. It is perfect.
It is.
It will be so, you know what I mean? Prancing around like he's, the world champion.
Shit.
You know what I mean? It'll be some interesting shit. But Solo goes and brings an NXT title to SmackDown. We saw the NXT title defended on Raw earlier this year when Braun Breaker beat Dolph Ziggler. We're having NXT title reigns acknowledged now.
Yes.
Former champions, tag champs, world champions, Imperium was acknowledged. Raquel and Dakota were even acknowledged as former tag champions on Monday. So NXT lore is making its way into the main roster. Names are
As
obviously
it
coming
should
back
be.
and stuff, linking up storylines. So NXT making the jump on a Friday night. How are we feeling?
It's lovely. The connection to feed NXT characters into it because of Solo being the champion, it allows the fans to get introduced to newer characters from NXT, right? Like, we have friends who don't watch NXT, but they watch the main roster, and if Carmelo Hayes comes up, like, they'll get his character off rip, and Carmelo will probably get over. But what if it's a Cameron Grimes, a Gacy, like
Yep.
Wesley? He seems like he's just a guy, but Wesley could now come up and be like, "Hey, yo, like, I was supposed to be in that match. Let's have that match right now on SmackDown." And then you have Solo versus Wesley on SmackDown. Wesley doesn't have to stay up. He can go back. But it gave him that exposure to the main roster and the crowd,
Yeah, he's one of the guys that are truly, truly lost in the shuffle of NXT right now. We'll see how NXT treats Wesley going forward. But I'm excited about this. Bloodline getting stronger. We'll have to wait and see. They're officially shaped up to be a pretty decent Survivor Series team. So we shall definitely see. And you can't talk about the Bloodline without talking about the Tribal Chief. We talked about the Tribal Chief earlier. Talk about the Tribal Chief to end the show. Roman Reigns is set to appear tonight after being scheduled to not appear tonight. Originally, he is set to appear because Logan Paul is set to open up the show. They're set to have a press conference tomorrow in Las Vegas to announce Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for Crown Jewel main event in Saudi Arabia. Mamba, how are we feeling after finding out some shit like this?
I mean, it's Crown Jewel.
Paul?
Nah, it's Crown Jewel, bro. Crown Jewel is non-canon to WWE, pretty much is the way I see it. If we're being honest, it's a non-canon, bro. Like,
nothing
Logan
that happens
and Roman,
over there is real.
The match is probably going to be fantastic, right? Like, Logan has showed he can go in the ring, he can tell a story, and Roman's just like, I'm Tribal Chief. I'm top dog. Acknowledge me. And this is, Roman's going to eat him. He is. Roman's going to eat Logan over there, but the match will be okay. I'm all right because it's, like I said, non-canon.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome that you said that. And it's funny when, like, to really, if you do think about it like that, like, it's...
There have been title changes over there, but, like, we don't acknowledge them, really, if we're being honest.
That was some shit. Oh, you're a funny motherfucker. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. It started off with Impulsive. Obviously everything looked great in the interview and stuff like that. Then, stuff afterwards, the social media, Twitter stuff is what sort of sparked up.
Of course.
So we'll definitely
it's money, bro. It's going to be all over media, like Logan versus Roman, like it's going to be everywhere. That's why they're doing
it. Exactly. Saudi getting more and more names. They get Michaels and Triple H and Undertaker and Kane and Goldberg and Brock and Roman
and Yokozuna somehow.
Logan Paul. Fucking Ronda was. Did Ronda go?
I think she did.
Was Ronda?
I think so.
Yes.
I could be. Yeah, it was like her.
I think
Charlotte,
it was her and Naomi versus Deville.
Yes,
versus Deville and Charlotte. Actually,
with the arm behind her back.
Whatever it was, I believe. Yes, that was her match.
It was a tag match. Yep.
Yeah, they just continuously gain everybody they fucking want.
It's because money.
All about the money.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us here at RGTP. Make sure to tune in on Wednesday as we break down NFL Week 2. Maybe talk a little bit of NBA as Dennis Schroeder has rejoined the Los Angeles Lakers. And we break down a little... Not breakdown. We sort of predict and give our thoughts potentially on the mid-season tournament that will be introduced there. The reason why, it hasn't been highly talked about is because there's not a whole lot of details. We kind of just know it's going to be 8 teams. It's going to be played in November. There'll be some sort of a final, single game elimination. Still sort of figure out
incentive.
Are we getting like $1 billion bonus? Is it going to charity? Are we getting
I saw it was something like for
elevated seeding. You know what I mean? Like, if we win, are we automatically slated like as the top 8 seed, a top 10? Do we get a second chance game? Like,
No. Stop.
All
Save
that
it
and
for
more
Wednesday.
will be
Yeah, because
Wednesday,
I got
so we shall
questions
see
now.
how it fucking goes. And then be here on Friday for more wrestling talk. We'll talk about everything that happens. U.S. Championship defense, AEW Grand Slam should be a banger, and whatever the fuck happens on the brand new NXT.
Yes.
Mamba, what the fuck?
Like, comment, share, subscribe, noties on. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, whatever. Wherever.